So we are going to look at the basic foundation of Islamic finance. And Islamic finance is, in fact, business as usual. It's not anything new. It's exactly what we've been doing, all of us, Muslims and non-Muslims, in all society, all the time. Now, if we go in the marketplace in any decent manner, is it good? Is it a good thing? Is it a business as usual to trade objects that really don't exist, that really are fictitious, not real, not true? I like to mention to you indices. Indices, what do they represent? What are they? What do you own? When you own indices, you really own nothing. Indices are good indicators, but they are not assets that can produce value added. So trading indices is trading fiction, is in fact a form of gambling. Again, if we look in the reality as it is and as has been accepted in human race since the beginning of life on earth, does a debt in reality produce any increment? Please think of it without being influenced by the New York Wall Street jargon. Let's be truthful to the reality as it is in the market and as it is in reality. What produces value are those commodities or assets or services that can add value. But a debt cannot add value because you cannot wear a debt and you cannot ride it and you cannot eat it. As simple as it is, as simple as a person in the jungle or a Bedouin in the desert know it, as much as a sophisticated person also, a philosopher or a PhD holders or a professor or whatever, also knows it. So this is the reality of life. A debt does not produce increment. So when you reschedule a debt, what increment do you add in reality? You only accumulate financial assets, but not putting food on the tables. Again, assuming and pretending that there is some increment does not really help. We finance increment. Finance should create increment. And we should realize that finance is always a helper to production and exchange. Does not itself produce wealth. Let's take the simple example, assuming all of us here in this hall, if financing alone creates wealth, so let's all do financing, and let's each one of us give a loan to the next person, to him or her, of a given amount for interest. And let's see what we will be doing, all of us, at the end of the day. Each one of us will give a loan for interest to the other and go on. What did we produce in that economy? If all the economy does financing only on interest, we didn't produce anything. There must be then a realization, a clear realization that financing must relate and must always be based and directly related to the reality without making assumptions. Increasing production and exchange of harmful product. Is it a good way of using our assets, our wealth, our financial resources? Well, I'm sure the answer is not. So let's try to find a way of providing financing to products that are useful to humanity, but not to products that are harmful to all of us. Again, if some law somewhere allows certain transactions, do we do them simply because the law says they are permissible? Well, in fact, the law should abide always by the moral values, but whenever it deviates from the moral values and ethics, well, we tell it to everybody, we leave the law aside. We are not going to do it because they are permissible in the law. So if I were in Las Vegas, I'm not going to gamble there, even though it is permissible to gamble in Las Vegas.